Namaste. Welcome to the Sunday, June 27th, 2021 Bansuri Bliss members lesson. I am Bansuri Bliss Founder Dr. Kerry Kriger, here to teach you Vachaspati Raga. We're going to briefly review the gut, the first line of the composition, in Teental, and then I'm going to teach you 7-beat Taans and 8-beat Taans. A Taan is a full-speed line of music, generally improvised. Now, I compose these. You're going to play them as written, memorize them, make sure that you can play them, and then that will contribute to your ability to make up your own Taans, whether that's writing them out or, even better, to improvise them while you're playing by becoming accustomed to the rhythms, the rhythmic capabilities, possibilities, where you start and end the Taan, and essentially how they work. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's go ahead and review the composition briefly. All right, Teental starts on beat 12. That's 5 beats before sum. So the 5 beats brings us to the sum. I'm going to play it a few times. Start. 1, 2, Kali, start. Okay, we're going to start. From Kali, we need 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, start. Sum 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kali 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, start. Okay, so from Kali, there's always 3 beats, and then we've got 5 beats left before sum. Sum, 2, Kali. Look at that second line. It's got the Taan in there as part of the composition. You can see it written out 8 beats long. All right. So when these Taans I'm going to teach you, you can put them into whatever line here that you want. Probably the first 2 lines, because the astai is low notes. The entra, the second half, is high notes. High note Taan. For the entra, you probably want higher note Taans, but they'll work anywhere. So let's just go back to that first line. The only part you need to know right now, because I'm going to be repeating it so many times, is the first half of the line. All right, for anyone unfamiliar with Vachaspati, go to bansuribliss.com/Vachaspati, and I just added the 2 YouTube live recordings that I did this week. Okay? All right, so Sa, Re, Ga, Tivrma, Pa, Da, Komal Ni, Sa. Sa, Ni, Da, Pa, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa. If you've never done Komal Ni before, that'll be your only difficult note, because all the other notes are fully open, fully closed holes. Okay, there's your Komal Ni. Dani, Dani, if you need to practice Dani. Sani, Sani, okay? Sani, Dani, Sani, Dani, or Dani, Sani. Okay, that kind of motion. That's what I do. If you want to play it like that, okay, that's fine. I do it like that. Okay, if you're brand new here, note this is not a beginner lesson. We do beginners lessons on Tuesday and Saturday. Okay, this lesson assumes you have basic knowledge of what's going on. Regardless, you should learn something. All right, so here we go. each time, just now I was playing a 7-beat Taan. I was playing the Gama Pa Da Ni Da Pa, and then I was starting on the second Tal, beat 5, okay? Replacing Ma Pa Gama Ga Re Sa with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Alright, so how do we get there? We can just come to Ni and hold the Ni 4 beats. We can play Ni Da, hold the Da 3 beats. We can play Ni Da Pa, hold the Pa 2 beats. Okay? Any of your choices. Example. I could just do that. Come right to the Ni and just hold for 4 beats. Or that was coming to Da, and now here's to the Pa as written. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to switch this out and let's look at the Taans. 7-beat Taans we're going to start with. Then we're going to move on to 8-beat Taans. What is the rhythm of each? I've written it right here, the mathematics of it. 8 plus 6. 6 plus 8. We could also think 4 plus 3 or 3 plus 4. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We could think of that as a 4 or an 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and could be a 6 or a 3. Sometimes I've put in the comma. You don't stop at a comma. It's just for your mental knowledge that the stuff before it is a different phrase than the stuff after it. Just to show you the rhythm. So 8 plus 6, I could have put a comma right here to differentiate the fact that this is the 8. That's the 6, but I'm assuming that you're able to figure that out on your own. Okay, what's the 2 referring to? 1, 2, Kali, 3, 1, 2, so that's beat 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this signifies beat 5. All right. Most of that time I was not using my tongue at all. Towards the end I used my tongue just to show Sani Dapa, Ni Dapa Ma, Dapa Maga Resa. Okay, I could have even written this out 4 plus 4 plus 6. Because it's like an Alencar. Sani Dapa, Ni Dapa Ma, Dapa Maga Resa. Sa, Ni, Da. Okay, so I could have gone 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. Okay, but you don't need to use your tongue at all. Step 1 for me, the default in Bansuri is always don't use your tongue. For me, simplest, always gonna sound good, don't use your tongue unless you need to. Okay? Take a breath before you start the Taan, unless you really don't need to, but you have time to take the breath. Gama Pa Da Ni, you have plenty of time. Gama Pa Da Ni Da, you have time. Gama Pa Da Ni Da Pa. You don't have as much time, but you have 2 beats to get your breath in. Okay? Now, what are you going to do if you can't play that fast? You could slow your tabla down to the point where you can double your speed. Because we need, if it's going da, din, din, da, we need to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we've got to be able to go double. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right? Now, what are you going to do if you still can't, you just can't play that fast? You're a beginner at Bansuri. Forget the tabla. Forget going fast and just play the line of music at whatever speed you need to play it so that at least you have learned the melody Forget about the rhythm, or maybe don't forget about it, but don't worry about it. Okay, so regardless of what level Bansuri player you are, as long as you can make that komal ni come out, you should be able to play this line. There's nothing that complex about this line. All right, let me move on to the next one. All right, sa re ga ma pa ma ga re. Now, if you learned those exercises, even the first of the exercises that I taught for Vachaspati in my lesson called 4 Important Scale Exercises every Bansuri player should know, really every musician, at least every musician who plays a melodic instrument. Sa re ga ma pa ma ga re, that's straight out of there. Okay? Sa re ga ma pa ma ga re, it's an arc. Sa re ga ma pa ma ga re, or a parabola, whatever you want to call it, arc. Okay? And then pa ma ga re sa. Lift your finger up during pa. You don't always have to when you're playing a Taan. If you're playing real fast, you don't have to, but generally speaking, as a habit. Let's see what I do. See, if my finger's already up, even if I'm playing a Taan, my finger's already up when I'm playing the Tivra Ma, so I'm not going to put it down for the pa, because it's got to be up anyway after for the Tivra Ma. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Okay? Now with tabla, to let you know, I'm at 176 beats per minute. If you need to play it slower, then definitely play it slower. That time I tongue the first saw. You don't have to, but you can if you want. Give it a little bit of extra rhythmic feel. One and two and three and four and one and two and three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. All right, if you have a question, send it in. Otherwise, I'm assuming you have the basics of what's going on here. And let's go ahead and do number 3. Sani, Dani, Dapa. We can imagine that as 4 plus 2 or 2 plus 4. Sani, Dani, Dapa. Sani, Dani, Dapa. Or it could be 3 plus 3 if we wanted it to be. Sani, da, ni, dapa. Dapa, mapa, maga, resa. Sani, da, ni, dapa. Just depending on how you accent it. Easiest is not going to be 3s. Okay, it's just Sani, Dani, Dapa. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, but if you want it, it could be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sani da ni da pa. Sani dani da pa. 1 and 2 and 3 and easiest. If you want to tongue the first note, the high saw, okay. If you want to tongue the da, right after the comma, that's okay as well. Sani dani dapa, dapa mapa magaresa. Two, like the number 2, T-O-O. Okay? Two. Alright, try to play it one more time before I move on, or before I replay it. Number 3. Alright. Everyone play number 3 one more time. Alright, I'll go ahead and play it. Note that I am not stopping at the end of the line. Every single time I come to the end of the line, the end of the Taan, I go straight into the gut. The Taan brings you to the start of the composition. Let's take a look at the composition just as a reminder here. Okay? So this whole time I've been playing this first half of the composition, and then we've been filling in the second half of the composition with our Taan. Alright, now we're going to move on to 8-beat Taans, which look like this in the second line, starting 1 beat before. It starts on the off beat. So from some, it's 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, start on the off beat, the up beat. If I'm tapping or clapping, I'm going to tap every 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means on the up. Okay? This Taan right here, 4 plus 6 plus 6. Let's see what our first Taan is. Okay, not Taan number 4, 8 plus 8. All right, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which is easy on the mind, other than the fact that the start of each are on the offbeat. Okay, it's not. We're most of the time we're usually starting something right on the downbeat, but these ones start on the upbeat. Okay. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say upbeat, downbeat, onbeat, offbeat, let me know. Otherwise, I'll assume you can understand that. And let's, I think a chat came in. If you send a chat in, just put a period and hit return, because then my bubble shows up. Otherwise, I can't see. I don't have access to the chats. All right, so number 4 also starts on the high saw. Sani dani dapa mapa. Alright? Sani dani dapa mapa. Maga rega resa nisa. Alright, they're symmetric. Alright? They're the same pattern. Each one has the same basic pattern. Alright, so number 4, I'm going to turn on my tabla. From some, it's going to be sum 2, 3, ba da 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 da. Alright, we got to count the 3 from some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 is the composition. I can either hold the knee for 3 beats or play knee da pa and don't breathe. I don't have any space to stop after the pa. Next beat, I got to start. Number 5, also 8 plus 8 or 4 plus 4, however you want to think about it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But now we're going to start from low pa. Pa da ni sa re ga ma pa. Alright, like a morchana. Morchana exercises, we start at one note. We go up to the same note an octave higher. And then we return. So, pa da ni sa re ga ma pa. Straight up the scale over the course of one octave. Dani dapa maga resa. What do all the Taans on this page have in common? What note ends each Taan? Chat it in. What note ends every Taan on this page? Hey, someone chatted it in. Yes, sa. Have you ever noticed a pattern in my Taans? The vast majority of them end with sa. The most important note in music. Alright, do you have to end with sa? No, you don't have to. A sensible place to end a Taan for this composition would be re. Okay, there you go. Yes, re. I thought I had one in here. Okay, re. Why re? Because it directly connects with the ga at the start of the gut, so that it just flows perfectly into the gut. Note that re is not re space, like number 2 ends with sa space. Okay, it's not re wait, it's re straight into the gut. Okay, you could end on any note you want. Just to me, most Taans end it. I just usually return them to sa, or the note that directly connects, the note adjacent to the first note of the gut. So if it's ga, a tiver ma, or a re. All right, but as you can see, I don't do that too often. Okay. Para ni sa re ga ma pa dani dapa maga resa. Straight up and straight down. Para ni sa re ga ma pa dani dapa maga resa. I didn't use any tongue in there. If you do play ni da pa, you may want to use your tongue on the pa that starts the Taan, because you got 2 pas in a row, and it'll help you get that first note of the Taan out. So experiment with that. You could, in any of these, if you want to tongue the first note after the comma, go ahead and do it. I think it sounds nice to not do it in this one, but you can. Alright, number 6. Sani dapa, nida pama, dapa maga, resa nisa, like an Allen car. Sani dapa, nida pama, dapa maga, resa nisa. Almost a perfect Allen car. We don't come back to the pa, but anyway, it clearly has a pattern. Now let's go ahead and turn on the tabla, play number 6. These 8-beat Taans, if you want to play them 3 times in a row, do that. Turn it into a T-high. Don't stop in the middle continuously. You can take an 8-beat Taan here, play it 3 times. You'll come out in exactly the same place you would have had you only played it 1 time. Number 7. 4 plus 6 plus 6. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 2 3 4 5 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 1. That time I used my 7th hole, mappa mappa, mappa mappa, but all the other times I was just going mappa mappa. Finger up, top finger up during pa, mappa mappa, dani dani dapa, mappa maga. Number 8, from low pa. All right, if you need to tongue the first paw there, then go ahead and tongue the first paw. If you don't need to tongue it, don't tongue it. Or if you don't want to tongue it, don't tongue it. Let's do number 9. All right, I probably should have written here because I know it helps people to see it. How are you going to play 2 gas in a row? You're going to, or I am going to slap the ray. All right, slap it to break the 2 gas. Gariga. Gariga. Now, I call this a high note Taan, so this one could definitely be put into the Antra. Look at the Antra. 4 in the last line. All right, so those are 7-beat Taans and 8-beat Taans. I have a lot more Taans written out. I just didn't have time to write them out nicely like these ones. Okay, what are the other Taans? I've got 9-beat Taans, a 9-beat Taan 2, plus 4, plus 3. Okay, so that would start on the beat. Ga, ma, pa, da, ni, boom. Okay. 1, 2, 3, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and ga, ma, pa, da, ni, boom. Okay? A 9-beat Taan would start from the 3rd beat. A 10-beat Taan would start from the 2nd beat. An 11-beat Taan, probably my most common Taan app for this type of composition with this structure that starts 5 beats, 4 sum. 7-beat Taans, 8-beat Taans, and 11-beat Taans are probably my most common. 11, that just means I'm going to start at sum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. It's like the simplest way I could just think of an 8-beat Taan, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then finish it off with 3 beats, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Dapa maga resa, pamaga resa, mapa maga resa, rega resa nisa. So I may, welcome Hanan. I may do one more. I've done a lot of Vachaspati the last few weeks. I think it's plenty enough to get people going. But I do have a lot more Taans written out. So maybe I'll finish writing those out and maybe we'll return to the Taans. Why? I mean, why do we want to learn Taans? To me, they're definitely one of the most important things to learn to help. To learn how to improvise, I think Taans are the absolute best thing. Maybe Alankars. You need Alankars to get your fingers functional and your mind working. Okay? And the Alankars can turn into Taans. But Taans definitely, you're going to be playing the composition. You need to know the exact formulas that you can use to improvise. So we just learned 2 simple, well, not simple. We learned 2, I think, easy to understand ways to improvise. You go at double speed, you start at beat 5, and you play for 7 beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and you connect it with the start of the gut. Now you insert your own notes. Pick the first note you're going to start on, any note. And you're either going to go up or down, unless you play the notes twice in a row like we just did it then. Gaga. Okay, but easier, just either go up. If you start at ma, ma pa, or ma ga. So you already know you just make it up. What are you going to start on? Da. Dani sa re, sani da pa, ma ga re sa ni sa. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay? Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then we learn the other formula. Come to sum, hold it for 3 beats or let 3 beats pass, and on the 4th beat of the cycle, make up an 8-beat Taan. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, Hanan wants to know about the wave that I say. So I call it the wave. Alright, just because that's what my fingers tend to do. Okay, now I'm not precisely sure which wave you mean. Sometimes usually when I'm really into the music, and generally not when I'm not into the music, it'll just come to me when I'm really into it. When I'm in that high octave a lot of the time, or not a lot of the times, but sometimes from pa to ga, note that our wave gets difficult if we have to cross down into the lower, if we go back down into the lower register, because then we have to go through ma, and it just doesn't work so well on a flute, not for me anyway. Okay? So those were going when I had rhythm going, sometimes I do it in a lop. But if I have the beat going from ga, re, sa, they're 2 beats long. 1 and 2 and, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, ga, re, sa, ni. Ga, re, sa, ni, sa, re, ga. Okay, each time, down to pa. Ga pa, re pa. I'm not thinking pa in my head though. Ga pa, re pa, sa pa, ni pa, sa pa, re pa, ga pa. From ma. All right, meend. Meend. You got to have it in your head first. Head first, hand second. Okay? You got to know what the sound you want to make. Your mouth has to do it too. Because remember, on a flute, each note you blow higher, you blow harder. So you're blowing a lot harder for a high T for ma than you are for the pa. So your mouth has to continuously change. Do we do that consciously? I don't. It just has to happen, okay? Your mouth and your hands and your mind all have to be working together. Okay? But now, if I were going to write it down, ma, pa, I'd probably put ma with a, like, pa ornament coming off to the right. Okay? Like it's a ma fading into pa, a ga fading into pa. But it pops up too. It comes down, and then it goes up. Oh, sorry, hold up. What am I doing here? Now say it's, well, let's not even analyze it too much. Could I do it the other direction? From pa upwards? Probably, but I usually don't practice it. Pa sa, pa re, pa ga, pa ma. Right? Put it into fours. Just practice the same one over and over. Okay? Does that give you some ideas? That was nothing. I don't think I was ever taught that. And I don't think that's something I ever did for a long, long time. But you've been taught it, so you don't have to wait. I want to hear you all play. So I'm going to close this out. I am Bansuri Bliss Founder Dr. Kerry Kriger. Thanks for being here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.